Abase. Degrade or humiliate someone. Abate. Become less intense or widespread. Abdicate. Renounce one's throne or power. Abduct. Take someone away by force. Aberration. A departure from what is normal. Abet. Encourage or assist someone to do wrong. Abhor. Regard with disgust and hatred. Abject. Experienced to the maximum degree. Abjure. Solemnly renounce a belief or claim. Abnegation. The action of renouncing something. Abort. Bring to a premature end. Abrogate. Repeal or do away with a law. Abrupt. Sudden and unexpected. Abscond. Leave hurriedly and secretly to avoid arrest. Absolution. Formal release from guilt or punishment. Abstract. Existing in thought but not having physical existence. Abysmal. Extremely bad or severe. Accentuate. Make more noticeable or prominent. Acceptable. Able to be agreed on or suitable. Accessible. Able to be reached or entered. Accidental. Happening by chance or unintentionally. Acclaim. Praise enthusiastically and publicly. Accolade. An award or privilege granted as an honor. Accommodate. Provide lodging or sufficient space for. Accommodating. Willing to fit in with someone's wishes. Accord. Give or grant someone power or status. Accost. Approach and address someone boldly or aggressively. Accretion. The process of growth or increase by gradual accumulation. Accuracy. The quality or state of being correct or precise. Acerbic. Sharp and forthright in taste or style. Acknowledge. Accept or admit the existence or truth of. Acquiesce. Accept something reluctantly but without protest. Acquired. Buy or obtain for oneself. Acrimony. Bitterness or ill feeling. Acumen. The ability to make good judgments and quick decisions. Adamant. Refusing to be persuaded or to change one's mind. Adapt. Make suitable for a new use or purpose. Adept. Very skilled or proficient at something. Adequate. Satisfactory or acceptable in quality or quantity. Adhere. Stick fast to a surface or substance. Adjust. Alter or move something slightly to achieve the desired result. Admire. Regard with respect or warm approval. Admonish. Warn or reprimand someone firmly. Adorn. Make more beautiful or attractive. Adroit. Clever or skillful in using the hands or mind. Adulation. Excessive admiration or praise. Adumbrate. Report or represent in outline. Advantageous. Involving or creating favorable circumstances. Advent. The arrival of a notable person or thing. Adverse. Preventing success or development. Advise. Offer suggestions about the best course of action. Aerial. Existing or happening in the air. Aesthetic. Concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. Affable. Friendly and easy to talk to. Affront. An action or remark that causes outrage or offense. Aggrandize. Increase the power or status of. Aggravate. Make a problem or injury worse. Aggressive. Ready or likely to attack or confront. Aggrieved. Feeling resentment at having been unfairly treated. Agile. Able to move quickly and easily. Agnostic. A person who believes that nothing can be known of God. Agriculture. The practice of farming. Aisle. A passage between rows of seats. Alacrity. Brisk and cheerful readiness. Alias. Used to indicate that a person is also known by another name. Allay. Diminish or put at rest fear or worry. Allege. Claim that someone has done something wrong without proof. Alleviate. Make suffering or a problem less severe. Allocate. Distribute resources or duties for a particular purpose. Allude. Suggest or call attention to indirectly. Aloof. Not friendly or forthcoming. Altercation. A noisy argument or disagreement. Amalgamate. Combine or unite to form one organization or structure. Ambiguity. The quality of being open to more than one interpretation. Ambiguous. Open to more than one interpretation. Ambivalence. The state of having mixed feelings or contradictory ideas. Ambivalent. Having mixed feelings or contradictory ideas. Ameliorate. Make something bad better. Amenable. Open and responsive to suggestion. Amenity. A desirable or useful feature of a place or building. Amiable. Having or displaying a friendly and pleasant manner. Amicable. Having a spirit of friendliness. Amorous. Showing or feeling sexual desire. Amorphous. Without a clearly defined shape or form. Amplify. Increase the volume of sound. Amusing. Causing laughter or provide entertainment. Anachronistic. Belonging to a period other than that in which it exists. Analogous. Comparable in certain respects. Anarchist. A person who rebels against any authority or ruling power. Anathema. Something or someone that one vehemently dislikes. Anecdote. A short amusing story about a real incident or person. Anesthesia. Insensitivity to pain, especially as artificially induced. Anguish. Severe mental or physical pain or suffering. Animated. Full of life or excitement. Annotate. Add notes to a text giving explanation or comment. Announce. Make a public and formal declaration about a fact. Annul. Declare invalid an official agreement or decision. Anomaly. Something that deviates from what is standard or normal. Anonymous. Not identified by name. Antagonism. Active hostility or opposition. Antagonistic. Showing or feeling active opposition or hostility. Antecedent. A thing or event that logically precedes another. Antediluvian. A verb belonging to the time before the biblical flood. Anthology. A published collection of poems or other pieces of writing. Anticipate. Regard as probable or expect. Antipathy. A deep-seated feeling of dislike. Antiquated. Old-fashioned or outdated. Antiseptic. Preventing the growth of disease causing microorganisms. Antithesis. A person or thing that is the direct opposite of someone else. Anxiety. A feeling of worry or unease about an imminent event. Apathetic. Showing or feeling no interest or enthusiasm. Apex. The highest point of something. Apocryphal. Of doubtful authenticity although widely circulated as true. Appalling. Causing shock or dismay. Appease. Pacify or placate someone by acceding to their demands. Appraise. Assess the value or quality of. Approbation. Approval or praise. Appropriate. Suitable or proper in the circumstances. Approximate. Close to the actual but not completely accurate. Aquatic. Relating to water. Arbitrary. Based on random choice or personal whim. Arbitration. The hearing and determining of a dispute by an impartial referee. Arboreal. Living in or relating to trees. Arcane. Understood by few or mysterious. Archaic. Very old or old-fashioned. Archetypal. Very typical of a certain kind of person or thing. Ardor. Enthusiasm or passion. Arduous. Involving or requiring strenuous effort. Arid. Having little or no rain. Arrogate. Take or claim something without justification. Artifact. An object made by a human being of cultural or historical interest. Artisan. A worker in a skilled trade, especially one involving making things by hand. Ascertain. Find something out for certain. Ascetic. Characterized by the practice of severe self-discipline. Ascribe. Attribute something to a cause. Aspersion. An attack on the reputation or integrity of someone. Aspire. Direct one's hopes or ambitions toward achieving something. Assail. Make a concerted or violent attack on. Assemble. Gather together in one place for a common purpose. Assess. Evaluate or estimate the nature or ability of. Assiduous. Showing great care and perseverance. Assuage. Make an unpleasant feeling less intense. Astute. Having or showing an ability to accurately assess situations. Atone. Make amends or reparation. Atrophy. Waste away due to the degeneration of cells. Attain. Succeed in achieving something. Atypical. Not representative of a type or group. Audacious. Showing a willingness to take surprisingly bold risks. Audible. Able to be heard. Augment. Make something greater by adding to it. Austere. Severe or strict in manner or appearance. Avenge. Inflict harm in return for an injury or wrong. Aversion. A strong dislike or disinclination. Avoid. Keep away from or stop oneself from doing. Balk. Refuse to comply with. Ballad. A poem or song narrating a story in short stanzas. Banal. So lacking in originality as to be obvious and boring. Bane. A cause of great distress or annoyance. Bard. A poet, traditionally one reciting epics. Bashful. Reluctant to draw attention to oneself. Beguile. Charm or enchant someone, sometimes in a deceptive way. Behemoth. A huge or monstrous creature. Beneficial. Favorable or advantageous. Benevolent. Well-meaning and kindly. Benign. Gentle and kindly. Bequeath. Leave a personal estate or body of work to a person by a will. Berate. Scold or criticize someone angrily. Bereft. Deprived of or lacking something. Beseech. Ask someone urgently and fervently to do something. Bias. Prejudice in favor of or against one thing or person. Bilk. Obtain or withhold money from someone by deceit or cheating. Blandish. Coax someone with kind words or flattery. Blemish. A small mark or flaw which spoils the appearance of something. Boisterous. Noisy and energetic. Bold. showing an ability to take risks. Bombastic, high-sounding but with little meaning. Boon, a thing that is helpful or beneficial. Borrow, take and use something that belongs to someone else with the intention of returning it. Bourgeois, characteristic of the social middle class or its materialistic values. Brazen, bold and without shame. Brusque, abrupt or offhand in speech or manner. Buttress, a source of defense or support. Bypass, a road passing round a town or its center to provide an alternative route. Cacophony, a harsh discordant mixture of sounds. Cadence, a modulation or inflection of the voice. Cajole, persuade someone to do something by sustained coaxing or flattery. Calamity, an event causing great and often sudden damage or distress. Calibrate, mark an instrument with a standard scale of readings. Callous, showing or having an insensitive and cruel disregard for others. Calumny, the making of false and defamatory statements about someone. Camaraderie, mutual trust and friendship among people who spend a lot of time together. Candid, truthful and straightforward. Candor, the quality of being open and honest in expression. Canny, having or showing shrewdness and good judgment, especially in money matters. Capacious, having a lot of space inside. Capitulate, cease to resist an opponent or an unwelcome demand. Capricious, given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. Captivate, attract and hold the interest and attention of. Carelessly, without care or attention. Carouse, drink plentiful amounts of alcohol and enjoy oneself with others in a noisy way. Carp, complain or find fault continually about trivial matters. Catalyze, cause or accelerate a reaction by acting as a catalyst. Catastrophic, involving or causing sudden great damage or suffering. Caucus, a meeting of the members of a legislative body who are members of a particular political party. Cause, a person or thing that acts, happens, or exists in such a way that some specific thing happens as a result. Caustic, sarcastic in a scathing and bitter way. Cavort, jump or dance around excitedly. Cerebral, intellectual rather than emotional or physical. Chaos, complete disorder and confusion. Characterization, the creation or construction of a fictional character. Chastise, rebuke or punish severely. Cherish, protect and care for someone lovingly. Chronological, starting with the earliest and following the order in which they occurred. Circuitous, longer than the most direct way. Circumlocution, the use of many words where fewer would do. Circumscribed, restrict something within limits. Circumspect, wary and unwilling to take risks. Circumvent, find a way around an obstacle. Clairvoyant, a person who claims to have a supernatural ability to perceive events in the future. Clandestine, kept secret or done secretively. Clemency, mercy or leniency. Clergy, the body of all people ordained for religious duties. Cloying, excess in a way that becomes sickening or distasteful. Coagulate, change from a fluid to a solid or semi-solid state. Coalesce, come together to form one mass or whole. Cobbler, a person whose job is to mend shoes. Coerce, Persuade an unwilling person to do something by using force or threats. Cogent. Clear, logical, and convincing. Cognizant. Having knowledge or being aware of. Coherent. Logical and consistent. Coincidence. A remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent causal connection. Collaboration. The action of working with someone to produce or create something. Colloquial. Used in ordinary or familiar conversation. Collusion. Secret or illegal cooperation or conspiracy. Colossus. A statue that is much bigger than life size. Commensurate. Corresponding in size or degree. Commercialization. The process of managing or running something principally for financial gain. Committed. Feeling dedication and loyalty to a cause or activity. Commodious. Roomy and comfortable. Common. Occurring, found, or done often. Compelling. Evoking interest, attention, or admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. Compensate. Give someone something, typically money, in recognition of loss or injury. Competent. Having the necessary ability, knowledge, or skill to do something successfully. Complacency. A feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. Complement. A thing that completes or brings to perfection. Complementary. Combining in such a way as to enhance or emphasize the qualities of each other. Complexity. The state or quality of being intricate or complicated. Compliant. Inclined to agree with others or obey rules. Complicit. Involved with others in an illegal activity or wrongdoing. Compliment. A polite expression of praise or admiration. Compose. Write or create a work of art. Compound. A thing that is composed of two or more separate elements. Comprehensive. Complete and including all or nearly all elements or aspects of something. Compress. Flatten by pressure or squeeze or press or pack in a small space. Comprise. Consist of or be made up of. Compunction. A feeling of guilt or moral scruple that prevents or follows the doing of something bad. Conceal. Keep from sight or hide. Concede. Admit that something is true or valid after first denying or resisting it. Conceptualize. Form a concept or idea of something. Concerning. On the subject of or regarding. Conciliatory. Intended or likely to placate or pacify. Concise. Giving a lot of information clearly and in a few words. Concoct. Create or devise a story or plan. Concomitant. Naturally accompanying or associated. Concord. Agreement or harmony between people or groups. Condition. The state of something with regard to its appearance or quality. Condolence. An expression of sympathy especially on the occasion of a death. Condone. Accept and allow behavior that is considered wrong or offensive to continue. Conduit. A channel for conveying water or other fluid. Confection. A dish or delicacy made with sweet ingredients. Confident. Feeling or showing certainty about something. Conflated. Combine two or more texts or ideas into one. Conform. Comply with rules, standards, or laws. Conformist. A person who conforms to accepted behavior or practices. Congenial. Pleasant because of a personality, qualities, or interests that are similar to one's own. Congregation. A group of people assembled for religious worship. Congruity. Quality of agreeing or being suitable and appropriate. Connive. Secretly allow a wrongdoing to occur. Consecrate. Make or declare something sacred. Consensus. A general agreement. Consign. Deliver something to a person's custody, typically in order to be sold. Consistent. Acting or done in the same way over time. Consolation. The comfort received after a loss or disappointment. Consonant. In agreement or harmony with. Conspicuous. Standing out so as to be clearly visible. Constant. Occurring continuously over a period of time. Constituent. Being a voting member of a community or organization and having the power to appoint its representative. Constrain. Severely restrict the scope, extent, or activity of. Construe. Interpret a word or action in a particular way. Consummate. Complete a transaction or make perfect. Consumption. The using up of a resource. Contemporaneous. Existing or occurring in the same period of time. Contentious. Causing or likely to cause an argument. Contingent. Subject to chance. Contradict. Deny the truth of a statement by asserting the opposite. Contravene. Offend against the prohibition or order of a law. Contrite. Feeling or expressing remorse or penitence. Contrived. Deliberately created rather than arising naturally. Controversial. Giving rise or likely to give rise to public disagreement. Contusion. A region of injured tissue or skin in which blood capillaries have been ruptured. Conundrum. A confusing and difficult problem or question. Convene. Come or bring together for a meeting or activity. Convivial. Friendly, lively, and enjoyable. Convoluted. Extremely complex and difficult to follow. Copious. Abundant in supply or quantity. Cordial. Warm and friendly. Cordially. In a warm and friendly way. Coronation. The ceremony of crowning a sovereign or a sovereign's consort. Corpulence. The state of being fat or obese. Corroborate. Confirm or give support to a statement or theory. Corrosive. Tending to cause corrosion. Costly. Costing a lot of money. Counteract. Act against something in order to reduce its force or neutralize it. Covert. Not openly acknowledged or displayed. Covet. Yearn to possess or have something. Credulity. A tendency to be too ready to believe that something is real or true. Crescendo. A progressive increase in force or intensity. Criteria. Principles or standards by which something may be judged or decided. Critical. Expressing disapproving comments or judgments. Criticize. Indicate the faults of someone or something in a disapproving way. Culmination. The highest or climactic point of something, especially as attained after a long time. Culpable. Deserving blame. Cultivate. Try to acquire or develop a quality or skill. Cumulative. Increasing or increased in quantity, degree, or force by successive additions. Cunning. Having or showing skill in achieving one's ends by deceit or evasion. Cupidity. Greed for money or possessions. Cursory. Hasty and therefore not thorough or detailed. Curt. Rudely brief. Curtail. Reduce in extent or quantity. Daunting. Seeming difficult to deal with in anticipation. Dearth. A scarcity or lack of something. Debacle. A sudden and ignominious failure. Debase. Reduce something in quality or value. Debauch. Destroy or debase the moral purity of. Debunk. Expose the falseness or hollowness of a myth, idea, or belief. Deceptive. Giving an appearance or impression different from the true one. Deciding. Having the power to settle a dispute or doubt. Decisive. Settling an issue or producing a definite result. Decorous. In keeping with good taste and propriety. Decry. Publicly denounce. Deface. Spoil the surface or appearance of something. Defamatory. Damaging the good reputation of someone. Defer. Put off an action or event to a later time. Deferential. Showing deference or respect. Deficient. Not having enough of a specified quality or ingredient. Deft. Neatly skillful and quick in one's movements. Defunct. No longer existing or functioning. Delegate. Entrust a task or responsibility to another person. Deliberate. Done consciously and intentionally. Deliberation. Long and careful consideration or discussion. Delicate. Very fine in texture or structure. Delineate. Describe or portray something precisely. Demagogue. A political leader who seeks support by appealing to popular desires rather than by using rational argument. Demarcate. Set the boundaries or limits of. Demarcation. The fixing of the boundaries or limits of something. Demean. Cause a severe loss in the dignity of and respect for someone or something. Demure. Reserved, modest, and shy. Denigrate. Criticize unfairly. Denounce. Publicly declare to be wrong or evil. Deplore. Feel or express strong disapproval of. Depravity. Moral corruption or wickedness. Deprecate. Express disapproval of. Derelict. In a very poor condition as a result of disuse and neglect. Deride. Express contempt for or ridicule. Derivative. Imitative of the work of another person and usually disapproved of for that reason. Derived. Obtain something from a specified source. Desecrate. Treat a sacred place or thing with violent disrespect. Desiccated. Lacking interest, passion, or energy. Desolate. Deserted of people and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. Despise. Feel contempt or a deep repugnance for. Despondent. In low spirits from loss of hope or courage. Despot. A ruler or other person who holds absolute power. Typically one who exercises it in a cruel or oppressive way. Destitute. Without the basic necessities of life. Desultory. Lacking a plan, purpose, or enthusiasm. Deter. Discourage someone from doing something, typically by instilling doubt or fear of the consequences. Determine. Cause something to occur in a particular way or be a deciding factor in. Deviate. Depart from an established course or normal standards. Devious. Showing a skillful use of underhanded tactics to achieve goals. Devise. Plan or invent a complex procedure, system, or mechanism by careful thought. Dialect. A particular form of a language which is peculiar to a specific region or social group. Diaphanous. Light, delicate, and translucent. Diminish. Make or become less. Diminutive. Extremely or unusually small. Directed. Control the operations of or manage and guide. Dirge. A lament for the dead, especially one forming part of a funeral rite. Disaffected. Dissatisfied with the people in authority and no longer willing to support them. Disagreement. Lack of consensus or approval. Disastrous. Causing great damage. Disavow. Deny any responsibility or support for. Discern. Distinguish someone or something with difficulty by sight or with the other senses. Disclose. Make secret or new information known. Disconcerting. Causing one to feel unsettled. Discord. Disagreement between people. Discordant. Disagreeing or incongruous. Discount. Regard a possibility or fact as being unworthy of consideration. Discourage. Cause someone to lose confidence or enthusiasm. Discrepancy. An illogical lack of compatibility or similarity between two or more facts. Discretion. The quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. Discursive. Digressing from subject to subject. Disengage. Separate or release from something to which they are attached or connected. Disgruntled. Angry or dissatisfied. Disheartened. Cause someone to lose determination or confidence. Dismiss. Treat as unworthy of serious consideration. Disorienting. Causing someone to lose their sense of direction or position. Disparage. Regard or represent as being of little worth. Disparate. Essentially different in kind and not allowing comparison. Dispatch. Send off to a destination or for a purpose. Dispel. Make a doubt, feeling, or belief disappear. Disperse. Distribute or spread over a wide area. Dispute. A disagreement, argument, or debate. Disrepute. The state of being held in low esteem by the public. Dissemble. Conceal one's true motives, feelings, or beliefs. Disseminate. Spread something, especially information, widely. Dissonance. A lack of harmony or agreement. Distinct. Recognizably different in nature from something else of a similar type. Distract. Prevent someone from giving full attention to something. Distressed. Suffering from anxiety, sorrow, or pain. Diverge. Separate from another route and go in a different direction. Diverse. Showing a great deal of variety. Divine. Of, from, or like God or a god. Divisive. Tending to cause disagreement or hostility between people. Divulge. Make known private or sensitive information. Docile. Ready to accept control or instruction. Dogmatic. Inclined to lay down principles as incontrovertibly true. Dominance. Power and influence over others. Dormant. Having normal physical functions suspended or slowed down for a period of time. Dour. Relentlessly severe, stern, or gloomy in appearance. Dubious. Hesitating or doubting. Duplicity. Deceitfulness or double dealing. Duress. Threats, violence, constraints, or other action brought to bear on someone to do something against their will or better judgment. Dynamic. Characterized by constant change, activity, or progress. Earnest. Resulting from or showing sincere and intense conviction. Ebullient. Cheerful and full of energy. Eclectic. Deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. Eclipse. An obscuring of the light from one celestial body by the passage of another between it and the observer, or between it and its source of illumination. Ecstatic. Feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. Edict. An official order or proclamation issued by a person in authority. Efface. Erase a mark from a surface. Effervescent. Vivacious and enthusiastic. Effrontery. Insolent or impertinent behavior. Effulgent. Shining brightly. Egregious. Outstandingly bad or shocking. Elaborate. Involving many carefully arranged parts or details. Elated. Ecstatically happy. Elegy. A poem of serious reflection, typically a lament for the dead. Elicit. Evoke or draw out a response from someone in reaction to one's own actions. Eloquent. Fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing. Elusive. Difficult to find, catch, or achieve. Embezzle. Steal or misappropriate money placed in one's trust or belonging to the organization for which one works. Amend. Make corrections and improvements to a text. Emollient. Having the quality of softening or soothing the skin. Emote. Portray emotion in a theatrical manner. Empathy. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Emulate. Match or surpass a person or achievement, typically by imitation. Enamor. Be filled with a feeling of love for. Encompass. Surround and have or hold within. Encore. A repeated or additional performance of an item at the end of a concert, as called for by an audience. Encounter. Unexpectedly experience or be faced with something difficult or hostile. Encourage. Give support, confidence, or hope to someone. Encumber. Restrict or burden someone or something in such a way that free action or movement is difficult. Enduring. Continuing or long-lasting. Enervate. Cause someone to feel drained of energy or vitality. Enfranchise. Give the right to vote to. Engender. Cause or give rise to a feeling, situation, or condition. Enigmatic. Difficult to interpret or understand. Enmity. The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Ennui. A feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction arising from a lack of occupation or excitement. Entail. Involve something as a necessary or inevitable part or consequence. Enthrall. Capture the fascinated attention of. Ephemeral. Lasting for a very short time. Epistolary. Relating to or denoted by the writing of letters or literary works in the form of letters. Epitome. A person or thing that is a perfect example of a particular quality or type. Equanimity. Mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. Equivocal. Open to more than one interpretation. Erudite. Having or showing great knowledge or learning. Ethereal. Extremely delicate and light in a way that seems too perfect for this world. Etymology. The study of the origin of words and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history. Euphoric. Characterized by or feeling intense excitement and happiness. Evanescent. Soon passing out of sight, memory, or existence. Evidence. The available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. Evince. Reveal the presence of a quality or feeling. Evoke. Bring or recall to the conscious mind. Exacerbate. Make a problem, bad situation, or negative feeling worse. Exactitude. The quality of being very accurate or correct. Exaggerate. Represent something as being larger, better, or worse than it really is. Exalt. Hold someone or something in very high regard. Exasperate. Irritate intensely. Excavate. Make a hole or channel by digging. Exceed. Be greater in number or size than a quantity, number, or other measurable thing. Exculpate. Show or declare that someone is not guilty of wrongdoing. Excursion. A short journey or trip, especially one taken as a leisure activity. Execrable. Extremely bad or unpleasant. Exemplify. Be a typical example of. Exhaustive. Examining, including, or considering all elements or aspects. Exhort. Strongly encourage or urge someone to do something. Exigent. Pressing or demanding. Exonerate. Absolve someone from blame for a fault or wrongdoing, especially after due consideration of the case. Exorbitant. Unreasonably high in price or amount. Expansion. The action of becoming larger or more extensive. Expedient. Convenient and practical, although possibly improper or immoral. Expensive. Costing a lot of money. Experiment. A scientific procedure undertaken to make a discovery, test a hypothesis, or demonstrate a known fact. Expiate. Atone for guilt or sin. Explicable. Able to be accounted for or understood. Exploit. Make full use of and derive benefit from a resource. Expunge. Erase or remove completely something unwanted or unpleasant. Expurgate. Remove matter thought to be objectionable or unsuitable from a book or account. Extant. Still in existence. Extensive. Covering or affecting a large area. Extol. Praise enthusiastically. Extraneous. Irrelevant or unrelated to the subject being dealt with. Extricate. Free someone or something from a constraint or difficulty. Exult. Show or feel elation or jubilant joy, especially as the result of a success. Fabricate. Invent or concoct something, typically with deceitful intent. Fastidious. Very attentive to and concerned about accuracy and detail. Fathom. Understand a difficult problem or an enigmatic person after much thought. Fatuous. Silly and pointless. Fecund. Producing or capable of producing an abundance of offspring or new growth. Feral. In a wild state, especially after escape from captivity or domestication. Fervent. Having or displaying a passionate intensity. Fetid. Smelling extremely unpleasant. Fetter. Restrain with chains or shackles, typically around the ankles. Foil. Prevent something considered wrong or undesirable from succeeding. Forage. Search widely for food or provisions. Forbearance. Patient self-control. Forestall. Prevent or obstruct an anticipated event or action by taking advance action. Foretell. Predict the future or a future event. Forlorn. Pitifully sad and abandoned or lonely. Forsake. Abandon someone or something. Fortitude. Courage in pain or adversity. Fortuitous. Happening by accident or chance rather than design. Forum. A place, meeting, or medium where ideas and views on a particular issue can be exchanged. Foster. Encourage or promote the development of something, typically something regarded as good. Fractious. Irritable and quarrelsome. Fragile. Easily broken or damaged. Frivolous. Not having any serious purpose or value. Frugal. Sparing or economical with regard to money or food. Fruitless. Failing to achieve the desired results. Furtive. Attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. Garish. Obtrusively bright and showy. Garrulous. Excessively talkative, especially on trivial matters. Genial. Friendly and cheerful. Genuine. Truly what something is said to be. Gluttony. Habitual greed or excess in eating. Goad. Provoke or annoy someone so as to stimulate some action or reaction. Gourmand. A person who enjoys eating and often eats too much. Grandiloquence. Pompous or extravagant language, style, or manner, especially in a way that is intended to impress. Grandiose. Impressive or magnificent in appearance or style, especially pretentiously so. Grapple. Engage in a close fight or struggle without weapons. Gratuitous. Uncalled for or lacking good reason. Gregarious. Fond of company. Grievous. Very severe or serious. Guile. Sly or cunning intelligence. Habitual. Done or doing constantly or as a habit. Hackneyed. Lacking significance through having been overused. Hallowed. Honored as holy. Haphazard. Lacking any obvious principle of organization. Hapless. Unfortunate or unlucky. Hardy. Robust or capable of enduring difficult conditions. Harrowing. Acutely distressing. Haughty. Arrogantly superior and disdainful. Hedonist. A person who believes that the pursuit of pleasure is the most important thing in life. Hegemony. Leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social group over others. Heinous. Utterly odious or wicked. Hibernation. The condition or period of an animal or plant spending the winter in a dormant state. Highlight. Pick out and emphasize. Hinder. Create difficulties for someone or something, resulting in delay or obstruction. Hoard. A stock or store of money or valued objects, typically one that is secret or carefully guarded. Homogeneous. Of the same kind or alike. Hypocrisy. The practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. Hypothesize. Put forward as a hypothesis. Hypothetical. Based on or serving as a hypothesis. Iconoclast. A person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutions. Idiosyncratic. Relating to a behavior or feature that is peculiar to an individual. Idolatrous. Treating someone or something with excessive admiration or devotion. Ignominious. Deserving or causing public disgrace or shame. Illicit. Forbidden by law, rules, or custom. Imaginative. Having or showing creativity or inventiveness. Imitation. A thing intended to copy something else. Immerse. Dip or submerge in a liquid. Imminent. About to happen. Immune. Protected or exempt from a certain disease or effects. Immutable. Unchanging over time or unable to be changed. Impartial. Treating all rivals or disputants equally. Impassive. Not feeling or showing emotion. impeccable, in accordance with the highest standards. Impecunious, having little or no money.